My name is Luz Maria Cruz-Martinez, and I'm from Mexico, Autonomous University of Mexico, and I'm here to present my work, Balance of Beliefs and Job Satisfaction for Job Tenure. We usually think about work in terms of what our culture tells us about which are the meaning, which are the transcendence value of our work, or in the cultural process, or socialization, or family and close circle are really important of the way we think about our work life, or work path, etc. In this case, we usually think about balance life and work in terms of which is first. In Mexico, works go first, always. Family is important, but it's more a job in the second place when you have a bigger job. Especially in the division gender roles, women and men, but that's part of another research. When we talk about life and work balance, we usually need to rethink the link between them. It's so intrinsically related with our family, or role in the family, or number of family members, etc. So we usually think about the values that are linked to our life. So we usually think in values in terms of how short tell us are related to one or another value. We don't work really for money. We work more for being fulfilled, being engaged, being meaningful, feeling in charge. And these values can be in different parts of that circle of the values and universality of these, as Schwartz said in the 90s. But one thing is, which are the beliefs linked to these values? So in a previous research, we found that the work beliefs are in this configuration: opposition to the work and acceptance to the work. We think the work is formality, development, an opportunity, an honor to do. But we also think the work is stoic, it's resignation, it's a punishment, it's conformity, because it's something you need to suffer, not so much to enjoy. And it's going against a lot of transformation in the recent times, because the sense of belonging is not part of the job in Mexico. We appreciate, feel belonging, or sense we be needed and we be appreciated in our work, but it's more important to think that we are part of that environment, and it's our honor or pride. We don't stay at work because we feel we be part of it. We need it, or we think it's the best we can do. In the generation change, we need to understand that younger generation, because even I'm more in the senior, so I'm old, job is a fulfillment and need to be rewarded. For my generation and older generation, to work is a duty, and we need to fulfill. We don't know how to handle don't have a job. I maybe be unemployed maybe 30 days in my life, and I feel lost. And a lot of people feel different because they are younger and they have a profound knowledge about how the work is only a phase, it's not their life. So work stability is different for each group, and behavioral patterns are related to how we need to go for a change of job. We don't do it not always because of money, maybe because of we need a change, or we have to change because family change, etc. But stability is more important. Even if you don't have enough money, stability is better, because you feel a sense of security. Security is really important in Mexican culture. So we develop also a scale for intention to stay in work. It's only 9 items, and it's focused on how hard, how profound is the belief that I need to stay at my job, even the other beliefs, even the objective situation, the well-being, the satisfaction, etc. So we tend to stay at work even if we don't feel good, even if we are dissatisfaction, even I don't like my job, because it's my duty to stay at my jobs, to have a stable income, have a stable routine, and that also affects how a remote work is working in our culture. But again, it's part of another bigger picture. So we think satisfaction is not synonymous of permanence, because even if the relation is important, even if you feel unhappy and unproductive in a job, you still remain there because it's important to be stable, be adult, be responsible, and fulfill your duties. Generation changes also show us younger people are more willing to leave their jobs, and that it's a shock, a cultural shock in the organizations, because they think the people owes them their job and their permanence. So now companies are in the need to develop satisfaction in their employees and collaborators. So we think in Roswell, Martin Agnew about inversion in the relationship, and we do some adaptations to thinking work satisfaction. So we also keep the same factors: size of the investment, personal satisfaction, permanence, general satisfaction, commitment, and alternative assets. And we found that 35 items scale who works really good in this culture. We need to, or we wish to understand how satisfaction are related to permanence and if it changes between the generation, because the thinking in the older generations and only thinking in the beliefs is, as long as it's okay, I will stay here. But okay is a really subjective term than more close to, if you don't hit me, I'm stay, or if you don't mistreat me. But even in that cases, sometimes we find mistreat at work in our culture because it's part of the job, of part of the culture of the job. For example, hospitality industries, restaurants, hotels have a really big problem now about terrible time, terrible work schedules, terrible teeth, don't even have time to eat, even in high-end restaurants, because they think it's part of the job. You need to pay your ticket to enter, and I suffered, so now you suffer. So these changes need to be a study in new approach of well-being of the persons. In terms of well-being, we usually think is the satisfaction of the realization. So I think this is the vital point for Mexican culture. We think the realization, it's not always good, or don't really need to be feeling good. I feel good because my job tells me you're a good worker, you do it well, but not good in the terms of I've been treated good, I've been paying enough, etc. So productivity is not related to satisfaction or the well-being. We talk with 276 volunteers, all them general population, all them we talk with them in the streets, in their workplace, etc. They are volunteers. They have at least 1 year in their current job, at least 6 months in their current job positions, 150 men, 161 women. Age mean is 30 years and with a standard deviation of 12 years. In Mexico, we start to work really young, even in a family business. So we have people who start to work at 6 years and some people who start to work at 46. That is really interesting data that we need to rethink later. And a lot of people have between 1 and 15 jobs, but the mean is in 2.3. So a lot of people stay in the same jobs, or 2 or 3 jobs all their lives. When we study the relation between the job assess and satisfaction terms and the permanence, we see the overall satisfaction, the size of the investment, and the evaluation of the alternatives are the reasons because we stay at work. That's because in some industries, like I said, hospitality, the other alternatives are that bad also. It's a phrase in Mexico, it's better a bad that you know than an unknown maybe good. So we stay in bad environments because we are afraid of the uncertain future and we don't know more about that info. Between the difference between the beliefs about work between sex and generation, we usually see that resignation, thinking the work this is the best I can do. Men tend to be more in that way. That may be because of the role of the men as providers. So they think it's better to stay here because it pays, it's good, it's not that bad than women, because women usually in older times have the option to stay at home or have a husband, or maybe receive more family support. In terms of the development, women think more about that an option to, it's my opportunity to flourish, to be better, to be my own growing. That's because women usually stay at home. So for us, be at work, give us the opportunity to change our possibilities of growing, economical, personal, intellectual. So that's a really important, but we don't have enough people in the generation groups to see if that changed between them. So we need to go to ask more people. About the difference in beliefs, we found the honor, formality, and acceptance are different because we found that the baby boomers think of as acceptance, full, blind, full obedience of the work. And in the case of the formality, they also, young baby boomers are who think work is formal, you need to work, talk, be completely formal. They don't understand, for example, converse at office or something like that. And in terms of honor, it's more about the seniors. The seniors think the work is an honor. So we are the generation to keep these hard punishment beliefs of work stay in the work environment. So a lot of this work told us we need to understand the new ways of how the people think they work, how the people think about the work environment to improve the satisfaction, the quality of life, the economic situation of our people, and understanding the psychological structures to lead us to our work and personal decisions. So thank you very much for everyone to be here. Please write me if you have doubts. Please write me if you want to do this in your countries. I'm really interested in look this in another collectivist and individualist terms. Thank you, everyone. Bye.